Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading Leviticus 11 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the oaf, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them. Nevertheless, shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the sea, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. In abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. These are an abomination: the eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the night hawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gyre-eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. All fowls that creep, going upon all fours, shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat: the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind, But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. The carcass of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creepeth upon the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them when they be dead shall be unclean until the even. And upon whatsoever any of them when they are dead doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be a vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even, so it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel wherein any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sown seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination, it shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Alright, so in this chapter, God is telling us what is clean and unclean, what we should eat and what we shall not eat, and how things are actually clean and unclean. He's making the stipulations as to what is actually rendered clean and what is actually rendered unclean, and when it is and when it is not. So even if something is clean and if it meets all the stipulations, then it is not clean, it is an abomination. And what happens is that he wants us to be holy because he is holy, right? And that is something that we as Christians should aspire to, and non-Christians you also should look forward to, right? Because I'm sure you all someday want to join, right? And give your hearts to God and surrender your hearts to God. And when you do, and even if you do not anytime soon, we still welcome you, and we still hope that you will still adhere to the words of the Lord and to follow through on his words and try to be holy just the same. I think sometimes we ought to experiment with this. Not we. I think sometimes non-believers ought to experiment with this. Yes. So that you'll see that it's not that hard to come to God, right? And to actually surrender your hearts to God. I think sometimes we all need a little simulator per se. So let this be a good simulation for you, right? So let this be something, a simulation for you. Try and practice how to be a good Christian. I know a lot of people don't want to become Christians, don't want to actually take that plunge because they believe that if they do, then they will actually turn back. But give yourself a little trial period, right? If you're afraid and if you are doubtful, give yourself a little trial period where you try to do things according to God's will and see, try it for yourself. It may be hard, it may be a little hard, but you'll see that it's very doable. And I mean, if you have that love for God, because a lot of us say that we have that love for God, so if we do have that love for God, we'll actually surrender our lives to him. And when you love someone, you want to give your all to them. And I've seen that happen with a lot of non-Christians. And I mean, if you can give your love to somebody else and to something else, then you surely can give your love to the person who made you, to the person who wakes you up every day, right? And so I just suggest that you just give him a trial period, a kind of a simulation per se, if you should say, right? And test the spirit, okay? But yes, guys, remain clean. And this is for the children of Israel, actually. So as we go into the New Testament, you'll see that this has totally changed, right? So all these do not really apply to us anymore because we're now in the period of grace. And I think the reason why this was because of the sin that Adam and Eve had committed before God. And so when Jesus came and he died for our sins and he died for our salvation, he made atonement for us. So that was a continuous atonement even to today, that we don't have to atone and be at altars as the children of Israel have to be, right? And so we are holy so long as we operate under the Spirit of God, right? Because Jesus washed us in his blood and made us clean and made us vessels to be holy if we follow the leading of God, right? All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave you with that right there. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted whenever a new audio video is posted. And guys, don't forget to share with your family and friends, okay? And share your comments and your thoughts, your revelations in the comment section down below. Okay, guys, have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.